Welcome, acolytes. Today we're reacting to more Pegasus. Logan Paul tries to destroy his best friend's life, but he was too smart for him. Now, you might see, or if you follow me for a while, you actually know, SmilingLich, he's doing a video a day. Why are there two? Because after I pushed myself 3 days ago to do actually 6 videos a day, I realized, wait, I can actually do more. Am I able to do it? So every time I'm actually gonna freaking try to do 2 videos if it's possible. If not, it's not. But as it is, let's just continue and see what this entire thing is all about. And let's start. And by the way, if you like my content, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification button. You know. So, blop.
Who needs enemies when you have friends like Logan Paul?
Okay, let me guess. In some kind of way, because I don't know this posse. Looks like a podcast. Okay. I assume he fired the guy because the guy was, I don't know, somehow disloyal to him. Like, bullshit, basically. Let's see.
So last time we talked about Logan Paul, he was busy doing crypto scams, taking millions of dollars from his loyal fans that he still has not paid back till...
Yep, and he won't. Because his fans will still suck his cockatrice, even if he would freaking annihilate human beings. So that's irrelevant. But CoffeeZilla, by the way, this guy, CoffeeZilla, just put it in if you don't know him, watch this guy. This guy is a beast. He does journalism as journalism actually should be. So, yeah.
This day. But it turns out this man is such a scumbag that it's not only his viewers and fans that he treats like absolute dirt, but his closest friends as well. So if you guys didn't know, Logan Paul has a
By the way, I don't think Logan Paul has friends in this particular moment. I really don't believe that. He has associates that actually make him money. I truly do not believe that he sees these people that he actually makes stuff with as friends. This is basically impossible. Those are dudes he makes money with. That's all. That's an assumption on my part, so definitively not true or something like that. But from the behavior he actually reflects or shows, yeah, I think that's the case.
Podcast with Majlak and George Janko. Now, basically, Mike is the guy that you can never really hear talk because his mouth is always stuffed with Logan's nuts. It just seems that he's gargling.
Yeah, he looks like
on
it.
Them balls 24/7. George was the only guy that actually had a bit of respect on that podcast and was actually honest. Now, it turns out there was an episode of the pod.
That was a mistake. If he had just a bit self-respect and actually was honest, nope. That means he sold less. That means he made less money than the other guys. So Logan Paul, nope. Just won't happen. That's a big no-no.
Podcast with comedian Bobby Lee, after which George Janko actually quit the podcast and he started his own successful podcast called The George Janko Show. Now, pretty much everybody thought that the reason George quit was because Bobby Lee made fun of him and George was a wuss who couldn't take a joke. But now, after all this time, it has come out that Logan Paul actually edited the podcast specifically so that George, his close friend, would actually look bad. In reality, what actually happened was, allegedly, George was sexually assaulted by Bobby Lee, and Logan was blackmailing the ever-living shit out of him behind the scenes.
Now, do I believe this? Yes, I actually believe this one. Now why? Because every single one in this podcast, except for the comedian, he is actually, as far as I know, he's actually a decent guy. From what I know. I won't make any assumptions here, but he's actually a straight up guy, and if he did like some SA, well, fuck me, I mean, I'd still believe it that they made it maybe like a part so they can somehow degrade their the guy that are actually with the guy that got S8. So, but it's still not an innocent person. It's still not an innocent person. Because my personal thing is, well, they are still, every single one of them are scammers except for the comedian. I don't know the comedian, so I don't know if he is a scammer. If he actually goes with this crowd, probably yes. So, but that's only a probability, not 100% from me, that I don't know anything. So yeah, let's just continue.
So here's a quick clip of George leaving the podcast.
He is clocked out.
Yeah, I know. George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse. No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here with me. Chase him down. Go. You find him. George, no, go get him.
So after all this time, the truth is finally revealed in George Janko's latest podcast episode called Confronting Mike Megasim. Now, just a quick note, I'm playing the clips in a little different order just so you guys have the context first, otherwise you'll be a little confused.
He started the episode putting his balls in my face. I let that one go. Then every 2 seconds he kept grabbing my dick. I don't think... How would you...
Okay. I believe him. He's still a scammer because he associates with scammers, so he's probably a scammer. But that's not okay. That's really not okay. On the other hand, I mean, if he says, okay, he put his freaking balls in his face and he let this one go, so he probably found it funny. To a certain degree, you just have to assume, okay, he was fine with it, and this is what it is. Because right now, I am way more critical than of anyone else, just because he, as Logan Paul, as the other guy, they're working together, there are scammers, and that's basically proven, except for the comedian. I don't know, but if he associates with them, and I mean, he actually did only one podcast, so I don't know if he associates directly with them, but... It doesn't throw him in a good light, let's just say it like that. But on the other hand, if I got the chance of actually talking to Logan Paul, I would probably also use that one, or abuse the extra eyes on me. Probably not sure about it. But yeah,
feel if a man that has his back completely towards you, that only turns around to grab your dick, right, talk shit to your face, and you can't smack or beat the living brakes off of this guy. Because Logan makes me apologize to this man, or I don't have a job on Impulsive anymore. How fucking crazy is that?
I don't think I understood. I can only speak for myself.
Bro, it's on a group chat.
I hope you can understand
it's on a group
that.
Chat.
No, I'm talking about during the episode.
So, allegedly, Bobby Lee over here grabs George's PP multiple times, talks shit to his face, and Logan and Mike actually make George apologize to him, or he loses his job. Now, I didn't really...
That's fucked up. If it's true in any kind of... That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. I mean, still, it doesn't hit an innocent person, but it's still pretty fucked up. Like, it's very, very fucked up. Because, remember, Logan Paul actually targets children. So, this kind of behavior will reflect on it. Like, children will actually copy it. So, that's bad. That's really bad.
I think that I could hate Logan Paul anymore after, I don't know, the Japanese forest, after the crypto scams, after just all of his performative bullshit, right? But covering up an essay and blackmailing your close friend, holding his job over your head, I feel like at this point, Logan Paul has sunk to the absolute depths of the human race. I pray the internet can actually, for once in their life, come together and cancel this motherfucker. But honestly, I blame KSI.
No, it won't happen. Won't happen, by the way. Nah. He's too big to fail that quick. A lot of... He actually has to do way worse stuff before he gets cancelled in any meaningful way.
absolute numbskull doing business with a deviant just because he makes him $1 billion with Prime, man. All these degenerate freaks, soulless, disgusting, Hollywood-esque mother flippers, all sell their souls for money. It's crazy. Also, gotta address Bobby Lee, of course.
It's, by the way, disgusting. I find it completely disgusting. That's something that I would, if I had any kind of power, I would instantly just throw a freaking step in the neck and be, no, young Link, you're going way too far. But I'm not a CEO of YouTube, so even if I really wish I could do something, sadly no. We just have to see the disaster and, well, at least be entertained by it.
Apparently everybody loves this guy for being a funny comedian, but I don't know, man, if your joke is grabbing someone's dick repeatedly and, you know, just disrespecting them to their face, I mean, this is not much of a joke. This is literal harassment, especially if he's uncomfortable with it. And, you know, if you think that's a funny joke, then, I don't know, replace George with a girl. Can you just grab a fucking girl's private parts? Like, I'd love to...
I don't really want to defend him, because I don't know this guy. I don't know if he's always the degenerate, because the only way how I see that it's not even okay is if they know each other for a long time and this is normal behavior for them. Because I do not care if two guys grab their dicks. That's on them. I don't give a fuck about that. But if it was someone he doesn't know, that's actual sexual, like, that's SA. That's pure SA. And that's disgusting. So this is really just, damn, this is hard. Like, I don't know enough about any of, like, about the comedian to actually have a meaningful thought about it. I mean, about the rest, yes, they are scammers, so I don't feel that bad for them. But for this comedian, this is the point where I say I don't know enough. But if the situation is they don't know each other, they aren't friends, this isn't normal behavior for them, this was SA, he is disgusting. If it was a joke, if he actually accepted it, if they are friends, then it's fine. But I assume after the behavior that the guy actually put on and was against it, I assume it wasn't. They don't know each other.
Love to see how that joke goes, right? Definitely wouldn't be rotting behind bars for sexual harassment over there. And I don't know, man, some people might be like, oh, it's just guys being guys, but I don't know, I wouldn't want my flippin' dick getting grabbed by some random stranger while he...
Yes, this is the point. If it's a friend, it's a freaking totally different thing than a actual human being that you don't know. There is always the fine little difference.
He's talking shit to me. That's his no. I remember actually watching the clip, and it was really odd, like why George suddenly got pissed and was just like walking out of there. But now it all starts to make sense.
Yeah. Okay, the Bobby Lee situation.
And yes, it makes sense, by the way. They are so... Those people, like every single one, and I don't know half of them. I only know Logan Paul. I know he is a scumbag, and he is a like manipulating guy. So it's just him. So I believe that instantly. If somebody actually associates with him on a regular basis, like in the podcast, then they are probably not a lot better than Logan Paul himself. And that's why it's...
the first person that jumped off the couch and said George just left. That was not good. We have to fix the situation.
But did they not cut shit that you should have stood up for me and said, hey, you can't cut that shit. That's gonna make him look like an idiot for leaving.
Okay, let's slow down. And
Nah, he's a cocksucker.
I'll answer that. We have always cut. This is all healthy, by the way. We have always cut.
Start crying.
No.
Which
by the way would be healthy. We have numerous times on the show, which I'm sure a number of shows do, cut things that we believe will protect the integrity or reputation of the guest.
That protected nobody but him.
No, of the guest. That's what I'm trying.
But what about the guy that you break bread with, bro?
Wow.
Okay, yeah, let's wait for Pegasus.
Okay, this is absolutely pathetic. So this reject and his master, Logan Paul, over here, you know, constantly claimed to be the #1 podcast in the world, impulsive, you know? And when behind the scenes, they literally have zero integrity. They just admitted to regularly cutting out portions of the podcast to appeal to their guests while simultaneously betraying their closest friend. I mean, I don't know about you, but when people watch a YouTube video or a podcast, they assume they want, you know, the full truth of the situation.
Yep.
You know, they don't want just like what's good PR and you cut out everything else or the actual substance of the episode. Now, obviously not talking about the essay. That one you should just scrap the episode instead of editing out that part and then humiliating your friend online like that, right? But it's clear.
Yeah, you should stop it instantly. The correct behavior would be this. If you see this, if you see, okay, he is actually uncomfortable with that, you should instantly stop it, say, this was too far, we're going to stop the podcast, this isn't the way it should go, and just be like, okay, you fucked up, we're stopping this. Now as questions, okay, how we're going to proceed with the two people that actually got involved in this, except for the guy that actually started it. Because if the guy is actually like, oh, I don't want my freaking name to be ruined, but he still SA'd someone, I don't give a fuck. If you SA someone, you're a piece of shit. And you don't really have any... I would say you still have human rights, but let's just say cut down a bit. Like just a bit, so you have actually some consequences for your actions. But... I don't know.
They do anything to suck up to Logan or any of the guests or whatever and maintain, you know, good relations or whatever. It's just a web of lies, in my opinion. And honestly, what you did to George was just unforgivable. Like covering up an essay and making him look like a tool in front of millions of people just because you wanted the favor of Bobby Lee is unbelievably disgusting, and it's betrayal of the highest level. Yes. You might as well sleep with his wife and piss on his mom, because the amount of humiliation that George had to go through for quote-unquote not taking a joke was insane. And I can't believe that Mike Megawus actually admitted to this shit. Like,
Wait, Megawus? Megawus? This is his name? Megawus? What the fuck? He's already fucked up.
I really feel so bad for George. It's good for him that he actually quit that shitty podcast and started his own shit. Logan is clearly a disgusting vulture that cannot stand his good friend succeeding, and it gets much, much, much worse. There's so much that goes on. Like, I would encourage you to stay to the end of this video, because the amount of shit you're going to discover is crazy. And this next part, Mike, as usual, plays PR for Logan, saying that... Oh, really?
And by the way, I disagree on one thing. Are they complete scams? Yes. Is Logan Paul a freaking disgusting human being? Yes. Do I feel bad for this guy specifically? Not as much. Why? Because he is a scammer just like the two other guys. There is no real difference. He will scam you because, and I actually just assume it just because of the proximity to Logan Paul. If you associate with certain people, you act in a certain way. That's just human. That's normal. That's how human beings tick most of the time.
Remove stuff for you, George, as well, when obviously it's not the same.
But we removed a number of things that you said on the podcast. Well, no, I'm not going.
Booty, bro.
No. Do you want me to?
Nope. By the way, okay, he's lying about CFS. I think we can, by his reaction, we can say, okay, yeah, it's true, like he just made this point up. But it's a difference if you actually cover up SA and what I assume they covered up a joke. Because if he's struggling right now finding actually something, I think it was something way lesser than SA. That this guy, the actual victim, I say here, actually didn't make anything even half as bad as their guest.
Something that you said on the laser beam episode.
What laser beam episode?
Do you remember laser beam in Australia?
What I said?
That episode? I'd rather not say. I can tell. Why don't I just tell you?
Just
after?
Tell me. I'll beep it.
You said something about like laughing at a girl getting hit in like a parking lot. You saw like a fight.
Yeah, I just said the joke wrong.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I didn't actually harass somebody, Mike.
I'm not trying to die a 1-to-1. I'm just saying
okay, Mike, if this was an episode that was you, and what happened to you, and then the whole world thinks that I walked away because I can't take a joke, that's...
that's fucked up.
This guy is so spineless, it's absolutely insane. Your close friend is telling you a story about how you hurt him, and you nearly destroyed his entire reputation, and here you are, still latched on to Logan Paul's milk maker. The only relevance this guy had was being Logan Paul's lapdog and dating a porn star, both of which no respectable man would do in a billion years.
Completely agree. This isn't a respectable man. If you do those, like you latch on like a leech on someone and marry a porn star, dude, you might as well be castrated. Like, I understand that the world isn't fair. Sometimes you have to leech on something or someone or do something you don't like. That's one thing. But marrying a porn star, a human being that gets effed in every hole that gets opened, like, for fuck's sake, like, show some self-respect. Like, at least a bit. Have some freaking balls. Damn.
You're a pathetic husk of a man with zero backbone, zero opinion of your own. All you do is play PR for Logan, even when he spits on you and thinks of you as a subclass human being. And he's shown that he'll betray his closest friends for nothing. And yet here you are, by his side. Disgusting.
But after the episode, do you remember when you called me? And I said, Mike, this is all that happens. And you said, verbatim, you said, it's our fault for not telling you this, but me and Logan are really the ones who should be talking to the guest. You are really there for a boys only episode. So while I get sexually harassed, my other co-host is trying to fire me, and you're trying to leverage me to be quiet during other guests. And then on my birthday, you guys shot 3 episodes, so I couldn't show up.
I just think...
Damn.
On my 30th birthday, you shot 3 episodes.
I think
that's crazy. It was on the calendar for months.
I think by the time we got there was so much... like confusion and
this sounds like he actually they want to get rid of him, because normally if you're not in 1 episode, that's fine, like 2 maybe, if you have a really big long vacation, like, but this sounds really like, ooh, this sounds bad.
Look at him try to think of any excuse to justify how horribly they actually treated George over there. You literally told him to just sit there and not talk to any of the important guests. You know, just like I don't know, a showpiece or something. That is so degrading. And it's ironic considering George is 10 times smarter than both of these losers combined. It's crazy that they wanted to silence him because they thought, you know, they were the stars of the podcast or whatever. But if they are the superstars of the show, then how did George just leave the podcast, make an own successful podcast on his own, and now everybody likes George more than both of them? And can I just say, what great friends. You know, who really needs enemies when you got friends like these guys, okay? They film 3 episodes on his birthday so that he can't show up. What kind of bullshit is this? Listen, these are 3 grown men. If you don't like him, and you don't want him on the podcast,
just say it.
You know, continuing to pay him a salary and continuing to have him on as the episodes, maybe just, you know, tell him to his face that, hey, you know, this isn't working out, and, you know, let him go or whatever the hell. Instead of scheduling shit around his birthday, like, what are you, a mean high school girl or whatever? Like, I don't know. I've never seen that movie Mean Girls that everybody says, but this seems like this would fit, okay, in that movie or whatever. Now, as I mentioned, Mike is a professional PR guy, but not just for Logan, but also for himself over here. For the only time he'll ever criticize Logan is when he has to save his own skin. Anyways, Mike tries to say that Logan's the bad guy, but, you know, I was always there for you, George. You know, I was still a good friend when, you know, obviously Mike has supported every single one of Logan's decisions.
Was because I was always the one that was there. I was always the one standing up for you.
The last straw for me was, Mike, I had to escape. I had to leave for my own fear. When Logan came after me for my religion, the show hit rock bottom and we weren't getting paid. I was getting paid $5,000 a month, and that's covering just Reed. I have a mortgage. I have my sister that works for me. I have Belle. I'm trying to get married. I had all these things. So I had to start my own show because we're not making money on this show, and I'm getting pushed out of this show.
Well, at the time, we weren't making money. You made money on the show.
Okay, so a little context there. So there was another drama with Logan. Basically, Logan would constantly mock George for being a Christian and having faith in God, which is crazy if your close friend has...
Oh, for fuck's sake, really? Like, I am not religious at all. I personally even despise religion. Because I just... let's just say I am not the guy to actually like have any beliefs of that kind of any kind of that. Just not my thing. But really mocking people for that without any actual reason, they aren't giving you any reason. Like, come on, really?
Is a religion he believes in. You don't disrespect that, especially not in public on a podcast. If I remember, he was just saying that Christians are homophobic and you're part of it.
Not without any reason, by the way. I agree with it, but if there is a reason, that's something different. And yes, a reason could be that they mock you because you aren't religious and then you just, press them down so they shut up. That's fine. But just without any aggravation or something like that, like, come on, dude. Like, come on.
Cult, and because you're part of the cult, I can't forgive you or whatever the hell. When George has never been homophobic or any of these things, so it's just weird. You're just stereotyping everyone. It's like saying if one white person shot up a school that all white people do that.
Yeah.
Like, what is this brain dead logic here? You're stereotyping. Now, if you thought it couldn't get...
Or that every single atheist eats babies. Because yes, I got mocked for that one. I had a freaking church full of people actually arguing that stupid point, but yeah.
Worse, you probably didn't see the length of this video. So, for George's salary over here, that part, right? So apparently Logan Paul was out here texting George that he's making $11 million in 2 weeks while paying him just $5K and having him endure this humiliation. And when George tries to leave and make his own money to, pay his bills and, support his family, Logan Paul again pressures him to not take sponsors because
the fuck
with Logan. What a slimy snake of a human being. By the way,
yeah.
Just fucking texting your friend or co-host or whatever the hell that, I'm making so much more money than you is so disgusting, bro. I can't.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And I'm seeing that I'm getting pushed out, and I start my own show. Do you know what my final straw was?
What?
I got my show going, and then not only was I controlled and pushed around on impulsive, but then Logan's making calls and directing my show. And I'm saying, hey man, you can't tell me what to do on my own show. That's not okay.
What's that about?
He told me that I couldn't take Celsius. And then I said, hey man.
He didn't tell you that you couldn't take Celsius. No, he didn't tell you that you couldn't take Celsius. He
says if I take Celsius, I'm not a part of impulsive.
Then he told you that if you take Celsius, that you cannot continue to be on impulsive, which is the core driver for Prime, as you're going to continue to funnel viewership from the impulsive show back to your show, which promotes a competitive product. Yeah. He also told you that if you wait 6 months after the deal's done, you're more than welcome to rejoin the show if you need to make money.
But they're always trying to find a way to push me out.
Okay, Mike, I feel like at this point you should just come out as Logan Paul's lawyer. It's crazy how much shit this guy will say if it means protecting Logan Paul. Now, clearly what happened...
I mean, he protects his own ass. As well as he protects Logan Paul because Logan Paul is the one that actually serves his food on the table. So of course he's gonna suck his genitals just to get the maximum out of it. As soon as Logan Paul actually doesn't pay him, he will just disappear out of his life. But until then, the freaking Logan Paul cock will be wet out of with his spit.
What happened here is Logan has been paying Mike's salary for so long that Mike is just tethered to him like a conjoined twin. Logan Paul could assassinate Mike's entire family and Mike would probably kiss him on the lips. He just turned gay for him because thank you for murdering my entire bloodline. It's lovely. Also, we gotta just talk about the greed of Logan Paul. This guy is so money hungry. It is absolutely insane. Everybody was so confused, Prime is now worth over $1 billion, right? That's literally how much it's worth now. And it's crazy. So Logan Paul has essentially infinite money, and people are like, oh, he just has to pay like a couple million back to the crypto zoo victims, right, for the scam he did. And people are so confused. Why doesn't he just pay a couple million back? It's literally nothing for him. It's pennies for him, right?
Yeah.
And this is
pure greed.
He is so incredibly greedy and penny pinching. It is absolutely insane. So George Janko promoting Celsius should not be a problem at all. It's just Logan hates to see his friend succeed because he's so greedy that he wants to take like every single...
The point is, Logan Paul loses money because of this. Why do I think that? Well, if you have someone who actually can stay on the same part as you, can actually steal your viewers, that's a danger. You lose money because every single person that actually watches him doesn't watch Logan right now. With high probability. Like, I mean, not 100% that. Maybe they watch both, but a lot of people will either watch the one guy or the other, not both.
Dime of that money, and all this bullshit of like, oh, it's a competing product, that's complete bullshit. Like, it's not gonna affect Logan Paul's sales or whatever.
Of course
you're
not.
worth $1 billion. Like, how much more do you actually need? It's crazy, man. He just wants to sap every last cent for himself when he's already worth $1 billion. How do you turn out like this? He's truly succeed to greed.
I don't. You know what he told me?
I think that was
this
a
is
fair...
a guy who's this is a guy who's sending us screenshots of $11 million a week that he's making. Okay, and on top of that, we never got any money from Prime, and we own that show. So technically, we should have gotten a percentage of that. I never asked for it like the way you did. I stayed the fuck out of it. I didn't care because I'm grateful for what I'm making. I'm gonna go start my own business. I will take half the deal that Celsius gives me. Half. If you want to put it on the table for my show, a quarter. Work with me. He says, I won't pay you a dime. You're here because of me. And then I said, well, what do you want me to do for my bills, bro? I got no money. And he says, go have your rich dad pay for it.
Listen,
that's fighting words, bro. Look at me. That's fighting words, bro. You don't bring up somebody's father.
Would you say
bro.
that the way that you handled it from a word standpoint was mature, acceptable?
What did I say? That I beat the fucking brakes off of him?
Correct.
If he was in front of me, I would have swung at him.
But that's what I'm trying to say. We were at a point where no one was speaking properly to each other. And the only person, probably, that was the calmest out of the three, I sent you a very nice text message.
Thank you, Mike. Oh my god, you are doing God's work. Guys, Mike sent him a text message while Logan is railing him from the behind. I'm sure that text message really lubed him up, dude. Thanks. Here's a question for you, Mike. What is a text message going to do after Logan Paul is actively fucking him in the ass? Oh my god. Logan Paul here is sabotaging his sponsors, and George even gives him, he's like, okay, fine, I won't take the sponsor, whatever. Just, pay me the money instead, right? It's a fair deal.
Fair enough.
But Logan Paul's greedy ass, making $11 million in 2 weeks, cannot spare a couple thousand for George. That's actually what close friends do, guys. They sabotage business prospects, they shit talk you on podcasts, they cover up essay, and they twist stories to humiliate you in front of millions of people. And then when you try to leave them, they still try to bring you down in whatever way they can. That is a best friend right there. But don't worry, guys, it's all okay, because Mike Megamind Moron sent a text to George, a sweet text saying, George, you're a good person. I actually love you, George. That fixes everything. So this is what the text message read, right? George, hey George, I'm a professional fence sitter, Mike Majlak here, and I actually like you, even though I support Logan destroying your life. That's basically it.
Please,
Mike, you went to Celsius to try to get my deal. Called me right after you called them. You never called to check in on me. You never called to see.
I texted you.
No, you didn't. It was after you went after the deal.
And by the way, I wasn't going after the deal.
You did.
I was going after the contract to bring to Logan and say, beat this with Prime, please.
Do you hear yourself? I wasn't going after the deal, guys. I was just going behind your back to take your money away from you. Because I'm mad you left our show, but I'm still your best friend. You know, I'm definitely still your best friend. I think just stop at this point, Mike. You know, this isn't Logan who will pay you minimum wage to just rub his PB. This is someone finally standing up for themselves, and you seem to not be able to take it. Now, Mike gets a little bit butthurt over here because George rightfully called him a shit person.
I told you you're a piece of shit. Everyone knows it.
Yes.
You need to. But dude, I meant every word of it.
That's crazy.
No, I'm not.
That's crazy. That's insane.
If you fell out and you started doing scummy moves to your friend, I called you out on it.
But I didn't do anything.
Bro, you never checked. Not you, not Caleb, not Kevin, not Dylan. Nobody fucking called me when I got fired. Not one person called me. You know what I get a call from? Logan saying, at least Mike wouldn't do this. And an hour later, calls me and they say, hey, he's trying to get this deal.
But you know why I was trying to get the deal.
I get it. It's money. But why?
No. This business and friendship thing is very hard to navigate. You're an incredible fucking human being. I love you and I wish nothing but the best for you. And your response to that really fucking hurt me. I'm here to say that today on the show. It hurt me.
Your actions hurt me every day.
But what actions?
The fact that you would stand up for me on camera and then as soon as it cuts, being like, I'm gonna look so good that I stood up for you. There was intentions behind it, bro. You never cared.
Oh, so you're now saying,
man, the audacity of Mike over here to act offended. I can't believe you hate me after I backstabbed the ever-living crap out of you with my buddy Logan. I can't believe you said I'm a bad person. I'm actually...
Yep, exactly.
I'm actually so hurt by your text over here. Dude, you were actively sabotaging him behind the scenes and doing the dirty work. Like, you were the one taking the contract and sponsors and money away from him. This guy's like a ChatGPT AI program two-faced mother flipper. The patience of George is legendary here, okay? I'm not even like a physical confrontational type of person, but if this yapper was in front of me, you know, after backstabbing me, talking to me like this, dude, I'd be throwing some punches, alright? And this next part makes it very clear where his loyalty lies. Basically, George just asks him, is it fair what happened to me? And let's see what Mike Majlak says.
Do you think what I went through is fair?
I think it's complex. I think, bro.
Crazy, Mike. I wouldn't put my own enemies what I went through, bro.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you, I think more than anything, it was a culture fit problem.
It's complex, guys. It's a culture fit problem, dude. Imagine that having some dude grab your dick and going through all this bullshit, right? And then it's kind of like, well, actually, it's a culture fit problem. How is it a culture fit problem to have a guy just fondle your private parts?
Yep.
And when you have a problem with it, your boss threatens to fire you and then manipulates the video to make the harasser look good and you look like a fool. This is actual A-grade gaslighting over here, okay? And not like the bullshit Twitter gaslighting. And this is actual manipulation over here, gaslighting.
True.
And don't think I didn't see you guys take my name out. And you guys shadow banned my name. Fans with screenshots, shots of them trying to talk about me, and you guys were banned my name.
Because we probably didn't want that conversation over fucking hauling the entirety of the show.
But also, it's like, bro, I walked away without saying a thing.
But that's content. What the fuck? Is that something bad at this point then? I mean, if you do a podcast, you actually want some kind of content in it. Wouldn't this be something good to talk about? But nah, I mean, yeah, but then you actually can't manipulate your audience as hard. No. Okay. No. He's actually no. That's fine.
And you guys were on the podcast saying this gets no views.
I said that?
When you guys talk together and you're clipped together, you guys, he's not talking to the wall, Mike. He's talking to you. But
and
you were like, and I know
I think the biggest takeaway from this entire exercise today or conversation. What?
No, I just think it's just funny.
Well, I also just spilled water all over my.
Okay, what was that? I don't even know if that was a cut or was that actually Mike just completely changing the topic and addressing nothing. Wow, this guy's a master. Wow, he's learned well from Logan Paul over here. Listen, if I had any advice for George over here, ditch this man and never look back. You already ditched Logan. Great job over there. Never talk to them again, and God will reward you. Okay, you know, you left their podcast, you got your own business. He's clearly making more than $5,000, but brother is swimming that money right now as he deserves. Okay. He was a talent that was being suppressed by Logan Paul. And let me just say, Logan Paul's demise is coming sooner or later. If you actually do believe in God, then God is always watching. And if you believe in karma or whatever, Logan Paul is so beyond screwed because of all the bad shit he's done. You know, it'll get to him eventually. Now,
eventually, yes, but he still doesn't have to work a day in his life, so won't be as bad. I of course hope he gets. I don't hope that it's just like. What will happen realistically? What will happen?
Mike basically admits that even he has been railed by Logan Paul a bunch of times, and you know, it's just not fair. You know, Logan Paul's not the type of guy to do a 50-50 split or anything like that. He's more of like a 95-5 because his ego is massive, right?
God bless you for that emotionality and having that emotional intelligence that was called into question. God bless you for it, bro. You have to shed some of that, certainly, to be in that space. Yeah, shit gets said to me. Yeah, I feel left out. Certainly I fucking do, and it pisses me off, and it makes me frustrated and saddened.
Yeah, it pisses me off that Logan Paul pisses in my mouth, but you know, it's Logan. I'll drink it up like some lemonade, baby. Anyways, that's basically it, guys. Sorry for the wait, but we back, babe.
Damn. I'm happy that I found Pegasus here and that he actually, like, his opinion on those things is actually quite important, but damn, just, fuck this shit. Honestly, like, oh my god, this is just disgusting. Like, yes, some disgusting human beings. And actually, at the end, I feel more for the guy, but on the other hand, he's still in the fucking Logan Paul crowd. Like, I don't know how to feel about him. I feel just a bit, because getting effed over this hard is still not nice, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But as it is, acolytes, good night.